Greetings, welcome to Gratitude and Grace. Today we'll explore three questions. 1. Is despair a sin? 2. What is chastity? And 3. Are new technologies beneficial or detrimental to the Christian faith? Without further ado, let's dive in. Have you ever felt despair? If yes, then you might have wondered, is despair a sin? In the Christian faith, despair is often seen as a state of hopelessness, the feeling that there is no light at the end of the tunnel. It's a feeling that can grip us tightly, especially in moments of extreme hardship or loss. But does that make it a sin? To understand this, let's delve into the teachings of the Bible. The scriptures do not explicitly label despair as a sin. However, it's important to note that despair can lead to a lack of faith, a turning away from God, which is certainly cautioned against in the Christian doctrine. But here's the twist. Christianity also emphasizes the power of hope and redemption. Remember the story of the crucifixion and the resurrection? Jesus Christ himself experienced moments of despair on the cross, crying out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" But this despair was not the end. It was followed by the resurrection, the ultimate symbol of hope and redemption. In this context, despair can be seen as a part of the human experience. A valley before the peak, darkness before the dawn. It's not the despair itself that is problematic, but rather how we respond to it. Do we let it pull us away from God, or do we use it as a stepping stone to reconnect with our faith, to seek solace and guidance from the Almighty? So while despair might lead us away from faith, it is not a sin in itself. It's merely a sign that we need to reconnect with our hope and faith in God. Chastity is a term often misunderstood. So, what does it truly mean in the Christian faith? Well, let's unfold that together. Chastity, in the Christian sense, is much more than just a set of rules about sexual behavior. It's an entire way of life that focuses on purity, not only of the body, but also of the heart and mind. It's about creating a sacred space within oneself, a sanctuary where love and respect for oneself and others can flourish. Chastity is about recognizing the dignity of the human person and the sacredness of the human body. It's about understanding that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, and therefore treating them with the utmost respect and care. It's about living in a way that reflects our deep respect for God, for ourselves, and for others. This respect is reflected in the way we think, the way we speak, and the way we act, not just in matters of sexuality, but in all aspects of our lives. It's about being mindful of our thoughts, words, and actions, and striving to align them with God's teachings. In the Christian tradition, the Lenten season is often a time of reflection and self-discipline, a time to renew our commitment to chastity. During Lent, Christians are encouraged to reflect on their lives, to examine their thoughts, words, and actions, and to make any necessary changes to live more fully in alignment with God's teachings. The canonization of the first saint from Argentina serves as a powerful example of what it means to live a chaste life. Saints are often held up as examples of virtuous living, and their lives serve as reminders of the importance of chastity in the Christian faith. Chastity, then, is not just about abstaining from certain behaviors. It's about embracing a way of life that reflects our deep respect for God, for ourselves, and for others. It's about striving to live in a way that is pure in thought, word, and action. So chastity is not just about physical purity, but also about purity of heart and mind. It's about living a life aligned with God's teachings. In this age of technological advancement, one might wonder, are these new technologies a blessing or a curse to the Christian faith? As we explore this intriguing question, let's first acknowledge that technology is not inherently good or bad, but rather, it's how we use it that matters. For instance, consider the story of the Ridgway family, who recently welcomed twins born from embryos frozen for over 3 decades. This incredible feat of technology allowed the Ridgways to realize their dream of parenthood, and they credit their journey to their deep trust in God's plan. Here we see how technology guided by faith can serve life and love in profound ways. However, it's not all rosy. As with any tool, the potential for misuse lurks. The rise of technology has also brought about concerns, such as the risk of losing human connection. It's been observed that our social bonds, our social capital, have been eroding in recent years, in part due to our growing reliance on digital interactions over face-to-face connections. This is a concern for all of society, but it's particularly relevant to the Christian faith, which puts a strong emphasis on community and fellowship. Furthermore, technology has a way of distracting us from what truly matters. Our devices constantly vie for our attention, often pulling us away from moments of reflection, prayer, and meaningful interaction with others. This can lead to a sense of isolation, even in a world that's more connected than ever. So what's the verdict? Are new technologies beneficial or detrimental to the Christian faith? The answer is, it depends. It depends on how we use these tools and whether we allow them to enhance our faith practice or detract from it. As Christians, we're called to be discerning, to use technology in ways that align with our values and to guard against potential pitfalls. So, while new technologies can be used in line with Christian teachings, they also pose challenges. It's important to navigate them with faith and wisdom. As we wrap up, let's revisit our main points. We've taken a deep dive into some intriguing questions that often stir up conversations within the Christian community. Firstly, we tackled the question, is despair a sin? And we found that despair isn't a sin per se, but rather an indication of a lost connection with faith. It's a call for us to rekindle our trust in God's plan, just like the Ridgways did when they chose the longest frozen embryos, emphasizing their unwavering faith in God's design. Remember, despair can be a starting point for us to find our way back to faith, to hope, and to our spiritual home. Next, we explored the concept of chastity. We understood that it's not just about abstaining from sexual relations outside marriage, but it's more about the purity of the heart and mind. It's about leading a life that's in harmony with the teachings of Christianity, having respect for our bodies as well as the bodies of others, and fostering a deep sense of self-control and respect for the sanctity of marriage. Finally, we delved into the question, are new technologies beneficial or detrimental to the Christian faith? And we found that it's not a black and white answer. New technologies, like the process of embryo donation, can be seen as miracles of modern science, giving hope to couples who yearn for a child. Yet they can also pose moral and ethical dilemmas that challenge our faith. As in all things, the key is to approach these innovations with wisdom, discernment, and a heart, guided by the Christian values of love, respect, and sanctity of life. In the end, when it comes to despair, chastity, or the advent of new technologies, the guiding principle remains the same. It's about navigating these matters with faith, hope, and love, always guided by the teachings of Christianity. Remember, we are not alone in our journey. We are part of a community that shares and upholds the same values, a community that can support us in times of despair, guide us in understanding the true essence of chastity, and help us navigate the complexities of new technologies. In all these matters, the key is to navigate with faith, hope, and love, guided by the teachings of Christianity. If you enjoyed this video, we'd ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Goodbye and God bless.